Hello everyone, this is Arpita. You are watching me on Think Tank India, and today's topic is Neanderthal, the history of pre-humans. For this topic discussion, we have a very special guest on Think Tank India, who is Dr. Nandini Bhattacharya, who is working as a research associate in Physical Anthropology Division of the Anthropological Survey of India, Kolkata. She had completed her master's and PhD from Department of Anthropology, University of Calcutta. She is presently attached with the DNA laboratory. She has experience of doing work and research work in the skeletal depository of the Anthropological Survey of India, Kolkata. So, welcome Dr. Nandini Bhattacharya to our show, Think Tank India.
Thank you for giving me the chance to talk about Neanderthals on this YouTube platform and to share my knowledge with others.
Welcome. So my question is to you, Didi, that who were the Neanderthals, and in which region of the world the traces of the Neanderthal was found?
Okay, so Neanderthals are an extinct species of genus Homo. And you can say that Neanderthals are our closest relatives and the best known and longest known hominin species other than ourselves, means modern Homo sapiens. And after the discovery of the partial skeleton in Neander Valley, which is near Dusseldorf in Germany in 1856, William King proposed the name of this Homo neanderthalensis for that fossil specimen. And first time, this was the first specimen expanding our genus beyond Homo sapiens. That's Homo neanderthalensis, which was named by William King in 1864. In German language, the word for valley is Tal. Okay, so we can say that Homo neanderthals or Homo neanderthalensis means the humans from the Neander Valley. Okay, now if we consider about the distribution of the Neanderthal, that remains of the species have been found scattered across Europe and the Middle East. And the easternmost appearance of the Neanderthal was found in China and known as Maba. That fossil is known as Maba, and it's very interesting because uh, it is this Maba specimen shows the farthest migration of the Neanderthal to the Southeast Asia. Okay. Otherwise, basically, they are concentrated in the Eurasia region. That means Southwest Europe and the Mediterranean region and the France and Germany and Italy, Hungary, and in Southwest Asia like Israel, Turkey, even in Czech Republic, Crimea, Uzbekistan, we found the remains. So these remains were more or less discovered in the late 19th century or early 20th century. And some recent discoveries are there from Netherlands, northern Spain, and Russian Siberia. Okay, so uh, we can understand the major concentration of the Neanderthal fossil remains are in Europe and in the southwest. Southwest Asia. So, among these specimens, there are some important fossil evidences. Which why they are important? Because they characterizes the features which actually characterize their physical feature characterize this group of extinct hominins. So among these from France, La Chapelle Oxens, it's a very widely known and widely repeatedly studied skeletal materials. Then La Ferrasi, La Moustier, these are all from France. From Iraq, Shahinder, and all these are fossil remains names named like that. Then Amud and Tabun from Israel, Rapina from Croatia, from England, the Swanscombe fossil remains from Germany, other than Neanderthal, the Steinheim, and from Palestine, the Mount Carmel, So there are the Neanderthals are basically distributed in these regions.
Okay. So my next question is to you that what was the time period of the Neanderthals?
See, the Neanderthals have a long evolutionary history. The Neanderthals lived during the last interglacial, that is Rees-Home interglaciation, to last glaciation. That means that is Home glaciation period, and the geological time period was middle to upper Pleistocene period. The earliest known example of Neanderthals was found just 430,000 years old. And if you the major concentration of these fossil findings remains between the 130,000 to 40,000 years ago. Okay, and you can say there is a fossil findings from this recent fossil findings from northern Spain, and other than that, the some specimen, we can see the Neanderthal lineage was already well established in Europe by 4 lakh years ago.
Ma'am, what is
Yeah.
the physical features of the Neanderthals have which discriminated them from the modern Homo sapienses?
Yes, they have some distinctive features. So, if the fossil remains are bony parts, and from that we have derived the inferences. And this distinct physical features, if we divide human anatomy, skeletal anatomy, two parts like skull and the cranium and postcranium bones. So, first I want to talk about the skull or the cranium, that they have the distinctive skull shape that is long and low. That means their cranial bone is lesser than modern humans. Secondly, there is a prominent bulge at the backside of the. This is the occipital region. This side of it is known as occipital. There is occipital bone and this occipital region. There is a bulge that known as occipital bun, and which looks like hair knot. And there is depression there, and the depression was for attachment of strong neck muscles in modern human. Further, their orbits, orbital cavity and orbits is larger than modern humans. Even there, the brow ridges, okay, brow ridges are thicker than modern humans. Their foreheads, one of modern human characteristics is this vertical forehead, and it was absent in Neanderthal. Their forehead is sloping, much sloping, so that is not vertical like. Further, there is a mid-face region, that is mid-facial prognathism. Okay, that is also absent in modern human. Even they have larger anterior teeth like shovel-shaped incisors. But their molar and premolars are smaller than humans, and interestingly, there is a space behind the third molar, or the wisdom teeth is called. There is a space for them in the jaws, and the lower jaw, especially lower jaw, it is more robust because their muscles are heavy enough. So this is robust to that. And the thing is, human characteristics is the presence of chin. Okay, this is plus mental amenity in skeletal terms, you can say. This is also absent in Neanderthal. So these are the major points by which they are distinct from the human skeleton. Now I want to share you one interesting point, that cranial capacity of Neanderthal is more than modern humans. Their cranial capacity is on average 1500 to 1600, whereas modern humans average cranial capacity 1500 to 1600 cc. Sorry, I missed the unit. But in case of modern humans, this is 1400 to 15. But are they more intelligent than us? That's not the thing, because our brain, their cranial capacity is higher because of the brain case. In case of human, the brain case is more round, globular structure. Okay, we have more space for our forebrain. And for this reason, modern humans have better ability of seeing and touching. Okay, so brain size, brain capacity of brain and intelligence are not directly correlated. We cannot say that capacity of Neanderthal is 1600, so they are more intelligent than us. Not like that. So these are the major differences in skull or cranium part. Now I will come to the postcranial bone. They have broader chest than us. Their rib cage is barrel shaped. Limb bones have thick and large joints, which indicate they have strongly muscled arms and legs. Thick, broad shaft of thigh bones is femur. Then shin bone, that means the leg bone, that is shin bone or tibia. Shin bones and forearms tended to be shorter than those of modern humans. And these proportions are typical for living in the cold climates. And the pelvis was wider from side to side than in modern humans, and this may have slightly affected their posture. So, even their stature, average stature of Neanderthal are shorter than modern humans. So, these are the major differences in physical features of the between the Neanderthal and modern humans. So, in this respect, I want to see that you know, starting from 1856 and up now, several fossil evidences discovered. So, these fossil evidences are subgroup by different paleoanthropologists and researchers. So, there are physical distinctions among the Neanderthals itself from different regions. There are differences in the cranial and postcranial bones and teeth. Okay, and there is genetic variation also. So, scientists divided them into two types. Number one is classical, and number two is progressive. So, the fossil remains of La Chapelle oxens, La Moustier, La Quina, La Ferretti, they are numbers of classical group, while the progressive type is represented by Crapina, Stein, Tabun, Eringsdorf, etc. And the progressive type lived earlier than the classical one. Okay, the classical Neanderthal variety, those features are basically adapted to the climatic region. And but the difference is, in the cranial features like size and cranial capacity, occipital region, supraorbital ridge, orbit, nose, presence of teeth, etc. And even the postcranial bone suggests that while classical variety had imperfect posture, the progressive one showed complete adaptation for erect posture. In recent days, using computer simulation to analyze the DNA sequence fragments from small universal fossils, researchers found that the species can be separated into 3 to 4 distinct genetic groups. The evidence points to a subgroup of Neanderthal in Western Europe, another in Southern Europe near the Mediterranean, a third in Eastern Europe, Middle East, and possibly a fourth in the Western Asia. So these groups have been postulated before, but they are confirmed by the DNA analysis.
Ma'am, my co-host Orpita
Okay.
also got a chance to do some research on Neanderthal in one of the famous UK university, but she didn't join that project. I don't know why she didn't join.
No, it's
Actually,
within
actually, no.
in anthropological researches near the position of Neanderthal always fascinating because day by day new evidences are discovered, new evidences are unearthed, and new questions arise. They are contradicting the existing theories. So I don't know what was your problem, but it was fascinating.
But the
It is
problem actually is my lack of knowledge, because I was a shortage of time. I couldn't gather the information about it, and this was very new topic for me. That was So I couldn't prepare myself for this project. So that after that I have grown some interest in this Neanderthal and all. I've started knowing this.
I
So
think I can, I hope I can add some more to
yes,
your
yes,
knowledge.
definitely, definitely, definitely. So before going to our next question, Didi, I want to know that I was just going on through some research of Frederick L. College. His findings that eating raw brains and flesh may have contributed to Neanderthal extinction because of the potential deadly diseases that did any evidence for the, but it is known that eaten raw meat often contains dangerous bacteria like salmonella, E. coli, campylobacter, and listeria, all of which can cause serious illness and death. That the main cause for extinction of Neanderthal, is it?
No, there are several. I will later discuss. There are several hypotheses, proposals for which explain the cause of extinction. This is, according to my knowledge, this is not a, it cannot be a pure cause, because if you go through some literatures about Neanderthal cultures, they know about use of fire. Okay, the hearth, where they cook. The hearth was found in some Neanderthal cooks. They know, if you go to literatures, they know how to cook. That is, they know how to roast, how to boil, and how to smoke the food materials. Okay, so it may be in some fossil evidences they found that type of bacteria which may cause these diseases, but it cannot be true for all the Neanderthal. I mean, disappearance. This cannot be a major cause of the disappearance of the Neanderthal, because there is evidence of use of fire.
So is there any evidence the use of fire that time?
Yes,
Fire,
yes,
fire, use of fire.
fire is there. Even there
Oh,
is evidences that they know the cooking process of cooking, like roasting, smoking, boiling,
cooking,
etc.
boiling. Yes.
Yes.
So my next question is to you that can we found any traces of the coexistence of Neanderthals and modern Homo sapiens?
Yes, we found they lived together for quite a long in Europe, and there are fossil evidences, as well as the genetic traces there, which show the coexistence of Neanderthals with the human, and they were there with the modern humans until they disappeared around 30 to 40,000 years ago. Now, if you want to know the examples, I can tell you that in Mount Carmel in Israel, I said about this fossil. There we found the existence of the Homo sapiens and Homo neanderthalans who lived together, and Igor Zakovic and his colleagues analyzes a dataset of 56 Neanderthals and modern human artifacts, each 28 from modern humans and 28 from Neanderthals, and from 17 archaeological sites across France and northern Spain. And all the samples had been radiocarbon dated. The date ranges for these samples inferred that modern human roots might have been present at the site, and they might have coexisted for as long as 5,000 to 6,000 years before they became extinct. And now come to the genetic part. Now that it is confirmed that Neanderthals interbred with modern humans. Okay, so it was Neanderthal Genome Project was initiated by the Max Planck Institute, and
Right.
they
Max Planck in Germany.
in Germany, Max Planck Institute in Germany, it is confirmed
Germany.
because they introduced the Neanderthal Genome Project. So, after sequencing the Neanderthal genome, what do, they compare it with the genome of the modern people from China, France, Africa, New Guinea, and they tried it with the all and found they found that all human Africans today have as much as 4% of Neanderthal, from 1% to 4%. It varies according to population, and 1% to 4% of Neanderthal DNA in their genome. And that the intervention happened soon after Homo sapiens arrived in Southwest Asia. Okay. So in current age, also approximately 20% of the Neanderthal DNA survives in modern humans. And a single human has an average of around 2% of Neanderthal DNA overall, with some countries and background having a maximum of 3% per human. So we can say both with the genetic evidences, genetic analysis, and with the fossil evidences that Neanderthal and humans can coexist.
So my next question is to you. According to you, the Neanderthals were the ancestors of the modern humans.
See, there are different propositions. Okay, for this phylogenetic relationship between modern humans and the Neanderthals. So, and this is very controversial and subject of great speculation. Now, from the time the first that partial skeleton discovered in Indus Valley, it is very much controversial. Their position in this, our which genus, which species, which subspecies. So, we can say that this Neanderthal and human, the terminal hominid evolution. Modern humans came at last. Okay, so it is the terminal phase of hominid evolution. And it is important to realize that there has been some combination of selective pressures, gene frequencies, and gene flow between the populations. Okay. So regarding the evolution of anatomical modern Homo sapiens, the fact that in Europe it appears to be not only the evolution of Neanderthal derived characteristics during the Middle and Late Pleistocene. So basically, this is the hypothesis is there. So, number one is linear evolution. So it says that from Neanderthal directly, it is an intermediate stage between Homo erectus and Homo sapiens. That is the unilinear evolution from Homo erectus to modern Homo sapiens, and it is intermediate stage, but it is discarded. I want to see what was the major objection behind this, that Neanderthal man shows specialized traits and which indicate the early and wide divergence from the main line of human evolution that leads to modern human. Further, completely evolved modern type of fossil men contemporary of Neanderthal man in Western Europe, and hence they cannot be descendants. And their restricted geographic range and distinctive physical characteristics makes this scenario more unlikely. Okay. Number two is excuse me, the separate lineage tells that Neanderthals were a subspecies of Homo sapiens. That means Homo sapiens Neanderthalensis. Okay. So, um, the scientist who proposes this cannot produce strong and widely accepted theories that with selective pressure produce this. Now, how they have some distinctive physical characteristics. It is already established from the fossil remains. Okay, but for with selective pressure, this becomes a separate uh, species or subspecies of Homo sapiens. Cannot establish this. This also was this interpretation of position. Now, third proposition, the paleoanthropologist, which is they accepted, that a pre-Neanderthal Homo sapiens population, there was a pre-Neanderthal Homo sapiens population possibly originating in another region, and they migrate to Europe, which is considered as classical excuse me, classical Neanderthal area, and they underwent severe natural selection in response to the environment of Europe. In this view, natural selection and gene flow with other Homo sapiens population produced these distinctive physical features. So these two work for the distinctive features from this pre-Neanderthal to Neanderthal. One is severe natural selection, number two is gene flow. So interpretation is now supported by the molecular testing. So this proposition is wide accepted. So in this regard, I want to tell about Svante Pabo, who is a Swedish biologist or geneticist, sorry. And he won the Nobel Prize in the physiology and medicine segment in 2022 for sequencing the total Neanderthal genome. And he tested more than 17 Neanderthal specimens. And from mtDNA analysis estimates that two species shared a common ancestor about 5 lakh years ago. So that means the ancestor of the Neanderthals and modern Homo sapiens was somewhere existed before 5 lakh to 6 lakh years ago, and they diverge then. Then human evolution goes in its own line, Neanderthal evolution goes its in own line. Okay, so in a recent article published in Nature, which shows that the species diverge in this genetic evidences shows that the species diverged about 5,60,000 years ago, and but whereas the fossil evidence show the divergences between 4 lakh years ago. There might be they are almost overlapping. So these findings indicate that an early origin of modern man and completely independent evolution of Neanderthals. And Neanderthals and modern humans, you can say that they are branches of the same tree. So I think
Today's learned information and
Ma'am,
why
ma'am,
there was
why
traces of
there
Neanderthal
was
in Indian.
I'm sorry, I cannot get you. Hello, am I audible?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, now I can hear you.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Huh, this is not coming clear. Yes,
There was no traces. Am I audible?
ma'am, why there was
Why
no
there
traces
was
of
no traces of
Neanderthal
Neanderthal in
in
Indian continent?
Indian subcontinent?
now I can hear. See, there is no fossil evidences. Okay, till date, there is no fossil evidences that was found in fossil evidences. Sorry, of Neanderthal just till now in India. So therefore, it can be said that Neanderthals never inhabited in India, but the traces of Neanderthal genes are found in among the population of the Indian subcontinent. And in this regard, I want to mention that Dr. Thangraj, who is the director of the Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics, he said that in a lecture he just mentioned that ancient Indian DNA had traces of genes of Neanderthals who lived mostly in Europe, indicating the complex admix of populations over million years of evolution. Even we can support it by one research in 2021 during the COVID pandemic. It shows it was done by that some Germany, and it's a collaboration study between the Germany and German and Japanese scientists, and it said that actually um, the Indian subcontinent, Indian subcontinents, um, the population, Indian population, were not severely prone to be have major complications for by this COVID-19 viruses. And behind that, they're explaining, these researchers explaining that nearly half of the Indian population has inherited a 75,000 character long DNA sequence from Neanderthals, and that is believed to reduce the risk of severe diseases due to COVID-19. And the frequency of this gene variant is around 50% in Gujaratis and 48% in the Telugu population. So, though these Neanderthals, basically, they don't have a site, you don't find any, associated tool assemblages or fossil remains from India. But Neanderthal traces of Neanderthal gene in Indian population, that is due to migration or admixture in earlier days. So that is the thing.
Ma'am,
Yes.
we know that Neanderthals was our closest relative, we can say. But there have any other this type of species who are our closest relatives, except chimpanzees, gorillas, etc. Not
Yes.
apes, that was related to humans.
Actually, Neanderthals, like the I am telling about the prenatal phase. No? So those are known as Denisovians. These Denisovians is fossil elements were unearthed from Siberian cave in Russia, and the Denisova cave, and these fossil elements are known as Denisovians. And Neanderthals share more genetic similarities with Denisovians than modern humans. Even modern humans also share genetic similarities with Denisovians. The thing is, I have already told you that the population basically in Europe and the Southeast um, Asia, this region, there are traces of presence of 1 to 4% of presence of Neanderthal genes. Okay. But the thing is, we still support the out of Africa model for human evolution. That means human first evolved in Africa, then they migrated out from Africa. And the model, the Nancy said, yes, they went out from Africa and they evolved some characteristics in Europe for their this, adverse climate. So, the Venezuelans, some other, there are some one sort of links. Okay, some with whom both the modern human and the Neanderthals share the genetic similarities.
Thank you, ma'am. You came to our channel and you give us the light on the Neanderthals. It is our pleasure. And it is
Oh,
also a pleasure of our audience.
I also feel honored to be here. Knowledge. This is all bookish knowledge I have gathered to study with course of our master postgraduate and graduate courses. Uh, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity.
And thank you, ma'am. And audience, please watch our channel Think Tech India. Please share, subscribe, and like our channel. And definitely comment. Comment on our program. We'll
Thank
meet
you.
again.
Sure.
Namaskar.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.